Another Monday morning rolls around. I've cleaned my jumper, Kel. That's good, had a shave. Ready to go for it again for another week. Worked the last 14 days straight, so I'm feeling a bit tired. I've only got half a week this week. I've got Thursday and Friday, I've got the kids. So I've got 3 days now. So my ambition is to get to a point where all my electric stuff is boxed, tidy away, done, so that Ben can come in on Thursday and Friday whilst I'm not here and wire it all up, and I can turn up like the weekend after that and go, way, we've got wires. P-bracket is the last thing I'm waiting on now, which is exciting. We've still got time. Dan, Kelly's cousin, is making it for us. The journey of the P-bracket's been crazy. He's now the third or fourth person we've had on the job, and we went, oh wait a sec, Kelly's cousin could do that, and he's been great. He's rattling through it. Now he's just waiting for some stainless steel. So hopefully within a week or so that'll be here and we can finish the last job under the boat. And then I've got everything on my list ticked, except for I still haven't sorted out the cleats, so I've got to do that this week. Rigger's coming tomorrow, signing off the last couple of things on the mast, and we've got a bit of work to do on the bowsprit as well. And then the mast can go back on, which might even happen this week. Yeah, I mean, in a week's time, in theory, or maybe a bit over a week, we could be completely ready for sea, which would be wicked. And then I've just got, you know, a few weeks left to crack on and make the kitchen. Basically, if the kitchen's up and running and there's mattresses on all the kids' bed, we can camp out all summer, no problem. Can't speak. I'm just checking out our brand new Gator rope cutter. Some fitting instructions, oh, a nice note. There we go, I sent them drawings of what we've done. Hi Hugh, the design of the new P-bracket looks great. It should all go together fine. Regards, Alan. So yeah, shout out to SAK Equipment and Alan and his Gator. So we had a very simple rope cutter I got made for a chap on eBay that was just like a knife blade thing, because that was all there's space for. But since we've redesigned the P-bracket, so there's a bigger gap on the prop shaft, so we can fit a full-size proper Gator rope cutter in. That thing is not cheap, but it will cut through anything. It's going to cut through like stainless steel cable. It'll cut through this big work jiffy bag things, like, you know, like a juices bag or something like that. Anything like fishing tackle, anything that's floating in the sea that is likely to get fouled around our propeller, which could be a real big issue if we're having basically this high-powered scissor cutter under the water to rip through anything that might foul us and mean we are constantly mobile and safe, you know, which is good. I've heard lots of stories. I know people who've been caught with things around their propeller before, and it's not nice, especially when you're on the lee shore and it's a bit choppy or a bit scary. So yeah, this is going to keep the boat operational and safe. And it's one of those things that you spend a lot of money on and hope you never ever use. I think this is like the strongest thing I've ever built. Like it's just absolutely solid. It's glassed in, it's bolted to the hull, and then I've fixed this at so many points. Like bush, 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 bush. Bush, 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 bush. Everywhere. 6 batteries in there would be about 160 kilograms. So there's only 4 going in to start with, but it's still over 100k. So it's alright, balances out the piano. Yeah, I tried to think of everything, so those holes are going to allow for a bit of ventilation around the electric gear and for the cables to run through. And I even tried to sort of think of things like future access. So even though you'd have to pull the batteries out to get access to this, I've got the where you disconnect and connect the gimbal for the cooker, so that can be taken down. I've got access to the filling point and the air vent point for the diesel tank below. And then finally, I've also labelled up, hopefully clearly enough for myself and for any future owners, where not to drill, in case you end up putting a bloody bit through a diesel pipe, which would be a pain in the bottom. So chatting to Ben this morning about the location of everything in this electrical cupboard, I told him about my concerns about ventilation, and he said he wasn't quite so worried about that. He thinks there's enough air around it with the holes I put in, but we do think the install would be neater anyway if the inverters were below and the other bits above, and it brings the weight down, but that's minimal in this boat, and also would allow for better ventilation anyway. So I'm going to do that now.
As you might have noticed, our batteries look a little unlike normal boat batteries. Firstly, they are, I don't know how you say this, LiFePO4, or in other words, lithium iron phosphate batteries. These are, in a nutshell, much better than the old type lead acid or even gel batteries that have been used in boats for decades. Installing lithium ion into a boat is nothing new, And these type of batteries are everywhere now, with variations used in nearly all modern boats, in electric vehicles, and even in Hughes power tools. In fact, if you want to live a predominantly electric life, then there really is no other choice. What is different about our application is that we have gone for a rack-mounted version. These are the sorts of batteries that you would normally see in an office or an industrial unit, or as a backup power supply, or in an off-grid home. Most lithium-ion made for boats are still made to look like traditional building block-shaped batteries. However, there's very little difference between those and our batteries other than the shape. Most boats doing a refit might look for a battery that would fit into a pre-existing space, so a standard battery shape is a must. However, as our refit is so extensive, space is not the same issue. And of course, not only that, but those marine lithium-ion batteries come with, yep, you guessed it, a marine price tag. The batteries we've chosen are made in China by a company called Pylon Tech. We bought them in the UK from a distributor called Energy Monkey. They're the cheapest battery available and still has the same spec as the high-priced marine option. Hugh has talked extensively to both the UK distributor and to the manufacturer directly in China about our application. They are suitable for what we're doing. They are approved by and compatible with all the Victron gear and covered by a 10-year warranty. They feature a sophisticated, safe battery management system, and to top it all off, they were less than half the price of the top marine batteries. I'd call that a win. I will point out that we are in no way sponsored by this company, and we don't even know if it's going to work yet, but we're pretty sure that we've made the right decision.
Last thing to do in my electrical department is just stick a coat of paint on it, because since moving the inverters, I put a load of holes in it to refill. I just want to make it look neat and tidy. Anyway, got a load of leftover paint from Tukulele, our old barge, and I think I'm feeling the playful pink. What do you reckon? I've gone with pepper red. I'm so boring. That is the final time I'm taking components in and out of that cupboard. From now on, it's over to Ben. We're still missing the buck boost. I put a template there where it's going to go, but there's a few things in there. The two inverters, the servo controller, the transformer for if we're ever in the Caribbean and need to go off at 110 power, 120. And yeah, the 24 to 12 volt thingamajig and the buck boost, yeah, all in there, which is cool. We're going to go and play with the mast now. My contribution is going to be quite small. I need to clean it, get some of the greed off it, and going to put this spinny wind vaney thing back on it. Meanwhile, Ben's going to stick in a new VHF cable and we remount the aerial on top, and the rigger's running in some new halyards for us. And then once that's done, he can go back on the boat.
When the mast goes back on, there are 3 things that will need to be mounted back on the top. 1. Our VHF aerial. The VHF will allow us to communicate with other vessels and the Coast Guard and mariners. 2. Our Raymarine wind transducer. That sends wind information down to our electronic navigation equipment. And 3. Our mechanical wind vane, so that we can look up and see which way the wind is blowing.
Me and Ben have just been making some discoveries. So I've never really thought about this, but when we took the mast off, Darren, foreman in the yard, just handed me this and went, yeah, take that off and look after it because it'll get bashed off. But it turns out this isn't electronic. Can you tell by the lack of wires? So yeah, we're missing some bits.
Yeah, ultimately that doesn't plug into there, yeah. So therefore we've got no readings going into the boat.
For all the nav gear, yeah. So we've got to, I mean, the previous owners spent so much on all the Raymarine stuff, all brand new. I can't believe they haven't got this somewhere on the boat, so I'm really confused. Like, I basically got to go back to the old pictures. That's when we first sailed Esperance. So yeah, that's my job for this morning. Try and work out what the story is with why.
It's got to be somewhere, because they've gone as far as putting the bracket and everything up there. It's all there. It's just missing the important bit that plugs into it.
The doobree thing that's going to get screwed in. But right. I've just been scrolling through our life on my phone. It's all very organised by months and years, and found a picture of Esperance's mast. Second time we viewed it. So just pause survey. I'm going to zoom in now. So by looking at that picture, you can tell there was already the VHF unit up there and a proper Raymarine wind majig up here. So basically everything we needed. So I've now got to go on a hunt and find where I've put these things. I seriously have got no idea where this stuff will be. I'm going to do a bit of a search now. You have to come with me. Right, double check there's nothing in this cupboard. 100% no. Definitely no. I have to do this when I search. Otherwise I'll end up looking again because I think I haven't looked because I'm panicking, but I just need to know it's not in there. I know it's not in there. The thing is, there's not many cupboards left. There's not many places on this boat I haven't been working in. You guys ever seen this before? This is cool. This is a cross section of our hull when I took the bow thruster out. Look how thick that is. Kelly's worried about orca attacks. No orca is getting through that. That is like, I don't know, the strength of that must be equivalent to like that much wood. Could be under the seat at the chart table because I've not been in there for basically ever. Found some kids' toys, but there's nothing. Just dirt and moisture.
I've come around the side of the boat and I was like, oh, there's an antenna on the floor. So I was picking it up and having a look at it. It does actually have the VHF connector at the bottom, which is what yours would have needed to actually be up your mast.
Okay.
So
it might like fall off. Bizarre.
it was laying down like, underneath that one. But because that's actually got the VHF plug on, you had a VHF plug on the end of your cable. So it was just very ironic that I just caught.
Let's hold on to that because it's right there. We're talking about meters away from where.
Literally.
And we're missing one.
Literally just like that.
And that's about a metre long. Look at that picture. Again, it's hard to gauge from that picture.
But it's.
I mean that. Yeah. I mean look at that picture there. Is that it?
It could well be it.
No, that's just on the ground there. That's been there for 18 months.
Been there for 4 years.
Been there for 4 years? Oh, okay, in that case it's not ours. We're missing ours.
No, not yours.
That's been there for years? Oh, there you go. Andy's sorted this out. It would be unusual.
That's our problem solved then.
Okay. We may still have to hold on to it though if we can't find ours.
But it was there. It's here somewhere.
Ah! It's in the van. I'm almost certain it's in the van. Okay, cool. Right, I'm gonna get the keys. Hi up, Joe. Can we borrow your van for a couple of weeks? So like 18 months later, more than that, I've still got this van of Joe's. But it's just been an absolute godsend having it. It's been so useful. But one of the first things I did when we took Esperance out was I put some stuff in the van in storage, I remember. Yes, here we go. Razor thing with that box, definitely got some Esperance bits in it. This is looking more promising. Haha. Found a trombone, didn't know I had. Found those extra bits of safety gear. Not found what I'm looking for. This is doing my nutting. I've got no clue where this thing is. I've checked everywhere on the boat. I haven't quite checked everywhere in the van, but I pretty much have. I've checked the whole sail store area. This is where the secret store area behind our boat is another boat. And underneath this other boat is some of our junk. I cleared this out the other day, apart from all timber. It's not here. Amazing news. First thing this morning, I went and asked Darren, the foreman on the site, and said, can't find these things anywhere, I've searched everywhere. He goes, oh, they'll be in the locker. So, they'll just be in the locker. What? So yeah, I got confused because they gave me this to look after, but that wasn't the same as these bits. Got my aerial and the very expensive Raymarine wind majiggy dig. So basically, those came off earlier while someone was at the mast and they got put in the locker in the storage, and they've actually got a proper shelf in the locker with probably 2 dozen of these things on, all nicely labelled up, all organised, ready for the mast to go back on.
In fairness to Hugh, he does have more than a couple of things to hold in his head at the moment.
But like, what's going on at the minute, like with this mast stuff, the stuff that goes top of the mast, and the other day with the cooling coming out of the stern seal, stern gland on the pop, like I knew that was how the engine was cooled, I knew water was going to come out of there. And the same with this, like I think about it logically, but there's just so much in my head at the minute, I'm struggling to stay on top of it all. And stupid little things like this, I'm getting wrong. You've got to be careful, because I don't want to make any major mistakes. I'm not making any major mistakes, it's fine, it's alright Cal, it's all good. But just interesting how, anyway, man, this project's big. I've done pretty well, like everything's labelled up, most things going back on as they are, so, you know, it's alright, we're all good.
This is Barry. He has given our mast a health check, a fairly normal activity for a mast on the ground. Whilst he is at it, he's going to replace some of our old, worn halyards. That's ropes, the ropes that pull up the sails. He'll do all of this whilst teaching Hugh a thing or two about spreaders, jammers, winches, halyards, topping lifts, blocks, cotter pins, mousing lines, roller curlers, splices, standing rigging, running rigging. The list goes on.
There it is.
That's come through that quick.
Yeah, yeah. Then just undo it.
Right, so after finally getting these switched on, battery voltages, I've never seen 4 separate individual batteries with such a close voltage range. So we're looking at 26.34, 26.35, 26.35 and 26.34.
I think that counts as being balanced, doesn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's amazing.
They can't
out
get
the box.
much closer than that, and that's out the box. Transit weren't necessarily built on the same day at the same time, but
Yeah,
that's
pretty cool.
that is cool.
They're all flashing, that's what I'm excited about.
Some flashy lights.
Flashy lights, they look fancy. Before we finalise position for all these things, Ben and I double checked and treble checked the cable length going from here, wiggling around all the way through into that cupboard there where they need to be, because they've all got to be the same length, the battery cables this is. Anyway, about an inch too short. It's fine. I thought I'd finish, but I've got to take the batteries back out, drill another hole, just to make the route more direct.
Like overtime on a job, Hugh had to come back at night to finish. But this gave him the chance to bring back his little helper, Eric. Back in here again, but the family are also here. I emailed a company about getting the mattress that's in here cleaned, but they said it's pretty past it now actually. It's pretty mouldy and damaged, so we're gonna have to get rid of it. So that is today's job. Get rid of the mattress.
I've got the strongest 2 members of my family to do the manual labour. I'm just watching.
Now where are we going to go? We're going to get up the stairs or we're going to get through the hatch?
I think for the sake of that, we should clean it.
Well no, it's not all of that, it's all this mould over it. There's black mould all over it.
When Dad was here, probably when he touched the mattress, that's how it touched him. Daddy and Kelvin are getting the mattress out because it's all mouldy and black.
Actually, we didn't need to.
And we don't like it!
We'll now put through the... I said I feel much less stressed about it now because Kelvin's come up with a pretty neat solution for carrying the mattress, which means that when you decide later the right thing and want to put it back on the boat, it's nowhere near as much work.
Just chuck it!
Right, Tails, what do we need to do now?
Get the carpet off the edge.
I'm going to put this in really simple terms. This is the only room on the boat that's functional for the entire boat.
Look, that carpet is clear.
I'm talking about the mattress and everything.
No,
Like,
that mattress is completely gross, right? It's got mould all over it, and I've asked someone if they can clean it, and they said no. No way, Jose, was their exact words. No way, Jose, they said. Yet Hugh still thinks that it's...
I think we've got, like, loads of rooms on this boat, and there's only one that's functional on the entire boat.
I'm going to go and get a mattress, and I'm going to sort this room
We're
out.
trying to live on this in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to get the mattress. Oh, look, I've got my best helper on the job. She's already on it. Me and her are going to sort this room out with Tails.
Yeah! I just need a little chisel to get under here.
I think I've discovered the source of the smell. That smells like the smell.
What does it smell like?
That's our emergency steering and stuff in there. We are putting the mast back on this week, so we've got to give it a bit of a clean. I asked Hugh if he had achieved everything he wanted to this week, and he said, "There's a common understanding amongst all of those working on a boat that there is no such thing as a simple job. Everything always takes much longer than expected and with the added complication." So to quote nearly everyone, no, it's a boat.